Do you know the wrong placement of image can affect the success of your project? Tunji from Caesar Graphics, welcome to my channel and welcome to my weekly design training where I share design tips free. I have a design I received during the week from a designer. I'm going to share what is working and what is not working in the design. And I'm going to use it to show you guys how to achieve successful design projects. So, without any further ado, let's start. All right, so the reason why this project is not successful is because the designer is trying to quickly make everyone understand what the project is about, which is not a bad idea, okay? But there's a strategic way of making people understand what the project is trying to say and also to point the project to the right viewers. You're putting too many images, all right, to explain what the project is talking about. Mostly is old school, all right. We're in a world where people want to see projects that can quickly inform them and make them know what the project is about. So the use of too many images here is not working. Now there are times where you can use more than one images in your project. When you're doing this, there's a dynamic way of placing the image in your project. I've explained this in one of my previous tutorial where I explain how to place multiple images in your project. I think it's one of the tutorial where I explain how to make food poster. So you can go check the tutorial out if you want to understand how to place images in your project. And then the other thing I noticed that did not really work here is the part of the placing of the text. You see, typography are more like images, all right? They are what speak to the viewers in the tone of voice that they understand. They mostly speak to the viewers in the same tone that the viewers use to talk to others. All right. So whenever you're working on design projects, see them as images that speak to the people. And that's why you need to make it visible enough for the viewers to easily see in your project. So this designer here did not understand this part of using typography, and that's why we have the text in the project not looking friendly in the project. And then the other thing I noticed that the designer did not play with here, right, is the part of using background. You see, the work of background is to project what we have on the foreground. Background are mostly used to help make what we place on the foreground in our project easy for the viewers to see. So here I noticed that the background is not really doing what it's supposed to do. Instead, it's killing the project. I'm saying this here because if you look at the information we have here, you'll find out that this information is difficult to read because of the value of the background. All right. So whenever you're working on design project, your background value should be different from the value of whatever you place on the foreground in order to make contrast do its thing in your project. And that's the same problem I noticed that, we have here. You see, when you're placing the information in your project, all right, there's this thing called dynamic layout. And you mostly achieve this when you make your information share different sizes. Now, I'm not saying you should now use too many different sizes here, but what I'm saying is place your information in a way that the size look more like the way we are used to seeing things in a three-dimensional world, where objects that are smaller are far from us and objects that are bigger are close to us. That's the same way we should always learn to place the information in our project. And another thing you need to know is, you see, the layout of your project should be more like the way you see architects design building projects. All right. Place your elements in a balanced form. Make them balanced. Place them in a way that, yes, one element will be resting on the other element. Like one element will take the element below it as a resting point. But you do this with suspense, because the suspense part of placing your content is also part of how you make your project look dynamic. And I'm going to show you guys what I'm trying to say here. Then before I go on the part of using illustration in your design, you see, um, among these three images you have here, all right, one of the image is strong enough to quickly explain what the project is about. So if I'm asked to pick from the three images, I'll pick this. And the reason why I'm going to pick this is because if you look at this image here, you'll find out that most of the elements we have on this image are inside this image. All right, you can find them here. So I don't think this is necessary. This image is not necessary. This image here can serve different meaning. Marketing of body lotion. You can also use as a project for spa, like what the project is about. All right. But for me, the quality of the image is not okay. And also the fact that we have this background here is not really, helping the project. All right. So I'm going to use this image here to achieve the project. So I'm going to quickly recreate this so you guys see how I achieve design project. So I'm going to create a new document by going to file and I'm going to select new. So the frame I'm going to be using in this project is going to be the Instagram portrait frame, which is 1080 by 1350. So I'm going to type 10. My resolution is going to be 72 because I'm not printing this. And my color mode is going to be RGB. All right. Then I'm going to call this part and I'm going to click on the create button. So I already have the exercise file downloaded, which I'm going to put the link to where you can get this in the description section of this video. So I'm going to drag that and drop here. All right, so I'm going to position this here, right click and convert this to a smart object. So I decided to convert to a smart object so I wouldn't lose the quality of the image. So I'm going to activate the free transform and make this bigger. And this should come down. So why I'm making this move here is I'm trying to create room for the information I'm placing in the project. All right. So I'm going to drag this and drop here. Then I'm going to right click and say rasterize. Then I'll select the rectangle marquee tool here and draw a shape. And the reason why I'm making this move here is because I need to fill this white space that I have here. So I'm going to use the shortcut here to activate my content aware. All right. So I'm going to hit shift and F5. And this is it right here. So I'll make sure my content option here is content aware. And I'm going to select the OK button. Photoshop is not really doing a good job here for us. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to create a new layer by clicking on the new layer icon, and I'm going to select the brush tool and sample this color from here. I'm holding on Alt now, so I'm going to sample color from here. Then I'll go to my brush settings and select the soft round brush. Then I'm going to make this, let's make it 24, and I'm going to increase my brush size with the square bracket. Then I'm going to apply my brush like that. But this is part of the things that the designer did not pay attention to. So because I know I'm going to be placing my text on this background here, I'm giving room for contrast so that by the time I place the content on it, those contents are going to be visible. So I'm going to activate curve now, and I'm going to move this down a bit like so. Then I'm going to switch to black and take the curve away from this side here. Now, the reason why I applied the curve is because I really want this upper part of my frame here to be darker so people can see my information. Okay. Then I'll change the color of this to white. Hit the OK button. All right. So the type of character I'm going to use here is going to be something more display like. Why? Because display type are fonts that you can use for the project is talking about fitness. All right. So I'm going to use display type here. So I'm going to type Playfair. So I'll use Playfair display bold to activate the free transform and make this bigger. Actually, I don't want this to be cap. So I'm going to type the title out. If you really want to see the beauty of this character, it's always nice when you make it sentence case. So I'm going to type FAVV. I'm going to activate the free transform, hold on Alt and make this bigger like that. Then I'll change my option here to optical because I want the space between the letters to be equal. All right, then I'm going to adjust my tracking like that. Okay, then I'll make a copy of this. I'll drag and drop on the new layer icon to make a copy, and they should come down here. Then change the title. Right, so what actually shaped this flow that I have here on the title is because of the shots of the items that we have in the project. So I still want to maintain this triangle layout. All right, and that's why I have this like that. So that's another thing you also need to learn to do. All right, your the placing of the content in your illustration is what mostly shape the layout of your project. So I shift selected the 3 layers. So I'm holding on Alt now. I'm going to make this smaller, and this should come. All right. So these are the features. All right. So I'm going to put this in a group. So I'm going to hit Control G and call this title. All right. I'm trying to fine tune my layer panel. So shift select the layers and hit Control G, and I'm going to call this BG. Good. So then let's go straight to the features. So I'm going to click right there and paste this. All right. Now I'm going to use characters that work together. All right, here. So the character I'm going to use here is going to be Mustrat, because Playfair is not really good for body copies. So I'm going to use a character that is best for body copy here. So I'm going to go to Mustrat, and I'll use Mustrat medium. In the project. So I'm going to start with the title. So right now, the title is overlapping on the elements that we have in the project. So we need to find a way to make this overlap on the title. So I'm going to select the pen tool. I'm going to hide the title and quickly make my selection. All right, like that. So when you're doing this, all right, when you're using the pen tool, remember to change your option here to part. All right. If you don't know how to use the pen tool, I have a tutorial on my YouTube channel that will guide you on how to use the pen tool. Okay. Let's see. Like this. Good. So then I'll make this visible. Beautiful. So then I'm going to hit Control and Enter to convert the pan to a marquee. And I'm going to hold down Alt and click on the layer mask icon to crop that selection out from the title. We get calls a lot from people who are looking forward to go into design but can't afford to pay for design school. Because of this, we decided to start a foundation where we can be a blessing to these people. Now we're looking at getting gadgets and some tools in order for us to meet our goals. And this is where we need you to support us with your donations. So if you have any amount you think you can support us with, simply make use of the account details on the screen. If you're outside Nigeria and you wish to support this move, simply make use of the seller link below the account details. Every amount that comes from you will be highly appreciated. Thank you. So let's go back to the tutorial. Then the next thing I'm going to do is to go to my exercise file here and drag and drop this image here. Now, the reason why I am making this move here is because you see everything is looking too white. All right, so we need to add texture, all right, to also help or add to the contrast in the project. All right, so I have this smoke effect that I like the texture on the image here, so I'm going to use that to spice my project. Hit the enter key. It should go up a bit there and there. This should be inside the group folder, and I'm going to hold down Control and Shift and click on the thumbnail of each of the type layer there, and I'm going to hide everything and hit Control J. I'm going to hide this like that and activate gradient map on the adjustment tab here. So if you can't find your adjustment tab, simply go to Windows and activate it here. Okay, so I only want this to affect the layer of the cutout part here, and I'm going to click on the clip icon to clip that to just the cutout that we did recently, and I'm going to activate the gradient editor now. Now, make sure you're on the thumbnail of your gradient editor. Why? Because we're going to be picking color from the image here. So if you're not on the thumbnail, you may find it difficult to pick the right color. Okay, so I'm going to activate the gradient editor now and click on the color picker here and pick this orange color here, and I'm going to start a bit. It's darker. Hit the OK button and double click again. Sample the same color. Hit the OK button. So I'm going to move this close to the other slider to really make the texture on the image more stronger and visible. So keep moving. Yeah, look at the texture here. This is beautiful. It's here. There. So then I'm going to select the OK button. So now you see that the contrast in the project now is beautiful. You'll notice that in this project, this title here, the effect on the title is the only thing that is different here. This will really draw the attention of the viewers to the title. All right, so the next thing we want to do is we can't leave this information here like this. We need to create a separation between them. So I'm going to create a new layer. Actually, we don't need it here. Just going to select the pen tool and go to my option here and say shape and make my width here 2. Hit the enter key, and I'm going to zoom in, make my first point, hold down shift, make the second point like that, and I'm going to change the color of this to the color that we have on the title. So I'm going to click on the color picker icon here and sample the color from here and hit the OK button. Then I'll make copies of this. So I'm going to hit Ctrl J and move this here, there. So now J, J, right? Beautiful. Okay. Then the next is to now make the social media visible. So to do that, I'm going to create a new layer, select the brush tool, sample a color from here. So I'm going to apply my brush here because I really need to make this information here visible. All right. Yes. Then we need to take this. So let's see the before and after. So this is the after and this is the before. I'm glad you made it to the end of this tutorial. If you have not subscribed, remember to hit the subscribe button and remember to click the post notification bell so you get notified when I post my tutorials. If there's anything you learned from this video, kindly drop it in the comment section.